Hey guys, Ariel over here at Nyth. It is a nice spring day. It's really gotten quite warm now. Sorry I haven't had any updates in a while. That's because once the snow finally quits, which it did about 2 weeks ago, it gets to being quite a lot of work to catch up on everything that I try to do in a short summer here. So I'm gonna try to do a quick update about what's going on here. Got my wild sarvisberry bushes, they're almost done blooming. I've got a bunch of flowers, mostly extras from some friends. Kind of planted around my little shed outhouse. It's not used as an outhouse, it was an old outhouse, now it's my garden shed. Got my raspberry patch. They took a real beating over the winter, as you've seen if you've been following my videos, but I've got lots of new little green leaves coming out on most of the rootstocks. Some are probably the whole way dead, but I think enough will come back to work. I've got flowers planted around the house. They're all still pretty little, still in my new, my hold now, lockers that were turned on their backs and that I've been using as planters for about 3 years. See if they can make another whole summer. Got flowers and herbs along this side, so there's stuff right outside my door I can eat. My little fire pit area where you can hang out with friends, and my garden. I'm gonna finish looking around the back of the house here. Got propane bottles there. Got some odds and ends of little seed starts back here in some of these boxes that you can't really see from the front. So those will get transplanted when they're a little bigger. Several of the fruit trees survived. Several of the, well, I guess all of my berry bushes seem to be doing well. My little cherry tree took a beating, but it's got leaves, as did that apple tree. Got a honeyberry bush, an elderberry bush, and a currant. Those all look great. This is another little apple. It's got a couple little leaves trying to come out. We'll see if that rootstock survived at all. And on to the main garden. A lot of things have not sprouted yet, but some things have. Got a couple strawberries that survived here. Hopefully they will make enough runners to propagate and get back to having a full bed of strawberries, which was the plan. My rhubarb looks good. A lot of these beds have things like carrots, beets, squashes that have not sprouted. I have some garlic from what I planted last fall. I had a little vole that ate a lot of it, so I've replanted some, though spring is really pretty late to plant garlic here. So we'll see if I get any yield off of the ones I just planted. Got a couple pepper plants there. If we don't get any real cold nights this summer, they might survive. More seeds waiting to sprout. This bed's got various squashes, cabbages, and some broccoli and cauliflower, as well as some couple marigolds in between to help keep the bugs away. Got some cabbage plants I bought, both red and green, in this bed, as well as cabbage seeds that I started. There, obviously I dropped way too many. Those will have to be thinned, but they are planted and growing up. So we'll spread the biggest, healthiest ones out in between the bigger cabbage plants I got. Again, I've got some more marigolds to help keep the bugs away, but the rest of this bed, oh, the center of that bed is potatoes, as is the center of this bed. And I've got squashes and cucumbers that I planted. They're just sprouting. You can see some just barely coming up little green leaves. This bed has got beets, onions, chard, kale, and the center is peas. This is my second planting of peas. They've also just sprouted and are coming up. These are the first two beds I planted back when it was still pretty chilly, which is why I waited to plant everything else, but everything seems to be doing well. I've got radishes, beets, some Brussels sprouts at the far end, and my first planting of peas down the middle, as well as carrots, which just look like tiny little weedy grasses right now. You can just barely see the green there. And some more chard and kale on this edge, and a few more marigolds. So that's an overview of what is growing in my garden right now. I was able to get all the has remulched with the wood chips, which I get for free from a local company that does tree trimming. Try to keep the yard mowed and looking nice, and I apologize for the general lack of updates. That's thanks to just how busy life gets around here in the summer. I do live far enough north that it's daylight from about 5 a.m., a little before 5 actually, to almost 10 at this time of year, since we're headed for the longest day of the year. So there's just a lot of daylight hours to do a lot of work, and that doesn't leave much of a evening to do things like post updates. So anyway, I'll try to get something up every now and then, but in between work and odd jobs and gardening and taking care of my house, that's my excuse for not staying very current. Hope you folks are all enjoying your springs or summers wherever you are, and if you garden, good luck with yours. Thanks for watching.